because all they're talking about is how ordnance are the ship are all this and blah. And I won't get into it. I know. Corey's getting bored. Corey's like, I don't care. I want to watch anime. Every girls.
Check out our buddies over at Mutiny Info Cafe, where they not only have a great selection of used books, records, and great coffee, but also have a fantastic selection of new and used comic books, graphic novels, and many more. Mutiny Information Cafe in Denver at the corner of Broadway and Ellsworth, and online at mutinyinfocafe.com.
Welcome to Comically Gaming, episode 113, the weekly talk show where we discuss our obsessions and the week's news around them. A games, comics, and culture production. Catch new episodes every Tuesday, and please consider supporting us at patreon.com/GCandC. You can help us improve all our content for as little as $1 per month.
This week in Comically Gaming, we discuss an upcoming comic that's sure to interest Alien fans. The next Game of Thrones show starts filming. The news starts coming in on the Why the Last Man show. Wizards of the Coast is bringing us a new campaign setting, and a certain ladies' man returns to Star Wars. We wrap up the show with the CBBC featuring Batman number 50, a.k.a. The Wedding. What's up?
What's up?
Oh,
How was your week?
How was my week? Well, you guys saw the parts of my week. I've spent a lot of time this week drawing, trying to get anime. My anime. It's pretty hard, but it's worth it. Like it. Yeah, when I finish it and it comes out good, like I did Stallionette, and she came out perfect. I mean, once I actually
was decent, but
no, I didn't. I sort of went with the face initially, and I don't know. I wasn't totally.
And she is a girl.
Feeling it, yeah. And I thought maybe it could be Yarwin, but I want to draw everybody to their own specifications, so it was better that I just went the second route. Yeah. So let's see. I started reading some D&D books. I'm reading Dark Sun right now. I went back to second edition. I'm working on some NPCs, so I needed some ideas, so I went back to second edition. Got PDFs for then. It's awesome. It's a great setting for a campaign. Movies, TV. I watched Preacher again. I started watching The Americans.
Yeah. How's that?
Which is really good.
You're starting at the first season?
Yeah.
It's pretty old now, isn't it?
Yeah, well, it's finished. I think it was 6 seasons long, if I remember correctly.
I watched the first season, I think.
Yeah, I like it. Did you like it?
Yeah, I liked it. I wasn't crazy about it. I didn't really keep watching it.
And then I'm making it a point to finish Inuyasha. So
Nice.
I started probably, I don't know, I'm in season 4, I think, with like 5 episodes in. So before I jump to Darling in the Franxx, I want to finish Inuyasha.
Yeah.
And then games, I played Absolver.
Yeah. How's that?
Like it?
I don't know.
Is that
like a
free
negative
game on the PlayStation Plus this month? Games for
Yeah.
Gold?
Yes.
Yeah, I heard it wasn't great.
What it is,
I heard it was
like,
good.
No, well, this is the thing. It's very odd. I haven't played many games like it. It's got a very detailed battle system.
It's like an open world fighting game, right?
Yes, absolutely. But the combos, I mean, it's a lot of combo action to remember, and it's just a lot. And I don't know if I'm intellectually capable of handling a lot of combos in games these days. I want like a 3-button system. This is, I mean, it's very complex, but also the other thing, the drawback I think is the little bit that I played, there wasn't a whole lot of story there. There's just kind of a lot of fighting.
Button mashing.
A lot of fighting, yeah.
What about
I'll
pinball?
check it out.
Yeah, I would encourage you to check it out just to see what you think of it. You know.
Right.
Download it before tonight.
I got Wolfenstein: The New Order.
Yeah, I saw that.
Nice.
Is that the
Oh,
first
yeah.
one?
Yes, I
I
believe
can't
so.
wait for you to play that.
Yeah, I
You'll
thought
love
you'd
it.
be happy.
You'll
Yeah,
love it.
Yeah,
I
it's
totally
awesome.
dig it. Yeah, it's I mean, it's just a great. I don't even know what to really say about it. It's just a fun game. I
How
mean,
far into it are you?
I finished the first level. I haven't gotten very far at all.
Yeah, that's kind of when it starts. That first level is just kind of, I don't know,
So,
showing you how to play or something. Well, you'll see that the story gets so awesome. You
Really?
will not believe how fired up it gets by the end of it. Really cool.
Oh, sweet. I needed a shooter. I didn't have anything on tap, so.
Yeah.
And then, real quick, comics. I don't want to get into too much, but I read Death of the Inhumans, #1, which is. I don't know if you know much about the Inhumans, but if you read that, it will knock you on your ass. I mean, they didn't hold any punches back, and
Is that still alive?
I'm not saying anything.
Yeah.
But dude,
Be carded.
you will get to the end of the issue and just be like, "What the fuck?" Like, it is that kind of comic. Finished Man of Steel. It's pretty good.
You read Superman?
I did not read Superman yet. I did read Immortal Hulk #2, which was amazing.
Yeah.
Still just crazy dark. Really unlike any Hulk story there's ever been.
As Bruce?
It's Bruce, yeah, he's back. Yeah. But he learns some really fucked up shit about Hulk. He learns some stuff that he did not know prior. You know, some new information about his alter ego. That's really disturbing. Read Death or Glory #3 and The Weatherman #1, which was really good, from Image. Read X-23 #1, which really shocked me. Was really, really good, I thought.
Next week's comic book club.
Yeah.
Yeah, I haven't read it yet, but I love X-23. And Gabby,
Great
she's
choice.
in it too, right?
Mariko Tamaki is the writer on it, and she did a great job on the She-Hulk series. She's awesome, and it was way better than I thought it would be. It was awesome.
Nice.
Nice.
But this isn't a single issue, but I just finished my comic of the week. I'll say is Silver Surfer. I finished #13 and 14, and that's the end of that comic. The Dan Slott run. That was I don't know. I've never read a Silver Surfer story that was like emotionally resonant.
Sure.
And that was totally it. It was like you run the gamut of emotions throughout. Just awesome, really homey, warm sort of story. You know, there's some sad stuff that happens, and it was awesome.
Yeah, he's such like the vessel, right? Where he doesn't have a lot of personality either way, usually.
Right. Yeah. And you know what? They kind of play off of that, where he has a girlfriend in this series, and she's like the co-star. Her name's Dawn Greenwood, and she's like the co-star of the book, and she kind of just brings him down to earth, where he's celestial, she's earthy. It's a good mix, man. It was just really, really well written story, and it's only 14 issues long, so.
Nice.
Nice.
I'll wait for they'll have to put that out in the collection.
Oh, totally. Yeah,
grab
totally.
that somewhere someday.
All right, that's my week.
Wow. It's a lot.
Wow.
It's a lot. It's a lot to keep up with. I don't know how you do it, Dirk. So first
I don't
off,
know either.
I bought the NES Classic on Friday.
Oh, the mini, right?
The mini, yep, the mini.
Yeah, that's awesome.
It's tiny. The controllers are the same size though.
Right.
That's crazy.
But my biggest complaint is the cords for controllers are like 3 feet long.
Yeah.
So you got to sit like way up on it, and
We got to keep our eyes peeled. Somebody has to make cordless controllers for those things. If they were cordless, they'd be perfect. I would pay an extra $50 to have cordless controllers.
Oh, absolutely.
Absolutely.
With that.
I think so too. I think that's the biggest downfall is that the cords are short and not wireless. But there's no receiver. There's no receiver built into the device. I think that's how they kept their
like they used to do with the Wavebirds. They just make a little thing on the plug that's got a receiver on it.
It could work.
You know what I mean? Somebody has got to come up with that.
Yeah.
I agree. I was playing some old games and I suck at Super Mario Brothers again because like half the muscle memory's there, so half of it's there, and then I second guess myself. Like it's like, oh, this feels right, but then I'm like, no, that doesn't make any sense. But I've noticed that playing some older games like Donkey Kong, a lot of stuff that we take for granted now in video games did not work in Donkey Kong. Like if you're on Donkey Kong, you're climbing up the steel structures back and forth. If you try to jump off the end onto the bottom platform, the next one below you, you die.
Right?
I'm like, what the right. And then the timing's off. Like it doesn't react as quickly to your button presses. And my son was playing Super Mario Brothers, the first one, and he's like, "This game's dull." I'm like, "Wait, what?" No, I grew up on this game. But it was pretty cool playing some Legend of Zelda. I forgot where everything was, and I was like pulling up maps. The map that is a lot to that game. I'm surprised at how much is in that game.
Well, how many times you have to go to the left and down or whatever when you go in the forest? I forgot what it. You know what I'm talking about?
I do know what you're talking about. Because the forest is northwest, southwest. That's the direction. So you go up and left and then down and left. And that's how you get to the graveyard.
Yeah.
That's the only thing I remember. I couldn't remember where anything was, but it was funny going through some of the dungeons. You get in one dungeon that has like 7 snakes. And the Nintendo couldn't handle that much graphics going on. And so it always lagged a little bit, and I got into the same room, and it lagged. I'm like, oh, you couldn't even fix this?
Oh, my God.
They're not trying to fix it. They're emulating it.
Yeah, they're emulating it. What else did I do? I was playing some Pinball FX on last Jedi table.
I went back. I got you on ET, but I'm still like, dude, I came close on Back to the Future. I'm at 88, I think, right now. On that.
So quick shout to everybody watching the show. Pinball FX 3 is free on the PlayStation if you have one. Get on our friends list. Start knocking on that leaderboard. It's fun to go back and forth on the leaderboards on there.
Yes, in the leader position right now.
And then jump on Discord and talk shit about how you know that I'm watching you. And dude, I don't know how I got 100 mil on Back to the Future. How?
It's that board. You can catch fire on it. There's certain moments where you're popping. I don't know if it's 1955 or 1985 alternate, but you catch fire, and it's like you do 1 million, 2 million, 1 million, 1 million. Yeah. It's crazy.
Well, it is crazy. I don't like the portal board that much. I still don't like that one.
I don't either.
I just think the way that it's designed, the
portals.
The function, it's the functions that control the ball movement and the travel of the ball. For some reason, it slows down sometimes too much, or you'll hit certain things where it'll go up and come down the exact center. You can't catch the ball. You can't. And then if you hit it, tilt. Even if you tilt, and then if you hit the ball with the flipper right on the tip. It'll slowly travel up and arc out the outside, 2 outside lanes that go out for a ball out.
Fuck those outside lanes. All day. Hate those stuff.
Yeah, the only good part about that table is just listening to the voices and the little story stuff is funny. Yeah. You know, you're right. The actual mechanics in that game is not good.
No, it's not.
Totally. It runs out of steam real quick.
Yeah.
Yeah, and my hands hurt from just hitting the triggers all the damn time. And
get the Bethesda tables, man. They're awesome.
Are they?
I will.
I thought about it.
They are.
I actually bought the Star Wars bundle, and Yeah, that's not a good idea. Because the New Hope one, the voice for Luke Skywalker is terrible.
That's funny.
Yeah, I know.
I want to buy it.
It's horrid. The Darth Vader one's pretty good though.
Yeah.
Because
The Michael J. Fox one's bad.
Yeah, it gets annoying too.
What the heck is a gigawatt?
And then I was playing. Actually, right before the show, I picked up Far Cry 5 and I was playing that.
Oh, you like it?
Yeah, it's not bad. It's kind of a messed up game so far. It reminds me of a little bit of David Koresh and the Branch Davidians down in Waco, Texas. Just
that's obviously an inspiration. Yeah.
Yeah, and my only complaint is I could play some of those games more during a day if I have free time. I wish that they would put in a way to do a profanity filter on the voice acting. Just so I can play it when there's a 5-year-old in the room.
Yeah.
That's my only complaint. I don't mind.
You want to change their art, dude.
I understand it's art, but I think that you should have an option. You have subtitle option. You
can't censor me, man.
I just think that if they had a profanity filter.
I don't think they have that in any game.
They don't.
They don't.
Yeah, I've never heard of it.
No.
Jeff wants it.
The only one I've ever seen is World of Warcraft has one where you can turn it on and off, and that's it'll sit there and gray out the bad language or put like special characters.
Just play Fortnite instead.
No. I can't do it. Sorry. And then I watched I rewatched Ready Player One again for the third time. And I like that movie, dude. I really do. It's so much fun to pick out things you didn't see before and concentrate more on what's in the scene than what's going on because I've seen it enough. And you pick up all these little things that I didn't pick up in the last couple times. And I don't know. There's a lot to take in on that movie. But it's just an overall really good movie, I think. Just it's well-paced, action-packed enough, and has a good storyline. So, highly recommend. Very nice. And then I watched that movie, A Quiet Place, with Emily Blunt, where they can't make any noises.
Yeah, Nate saw it, I think.
And I thought it was a really good movie. I was surprised.
Come on.
You think it was terrible? Really?
Yes.
I thought it was great.
It got rated second best film of the year, I guess.
People got low standards.
I thought it was a great movie.
I love The Office. Is it like The Office?
It's just like
exactly like The Office.
Oh, yeah. With weirdness. My only complaint is they didn't explain where they came from really well. But
I actually didn't mind that. I didn't mind the fact that they just kind of. I like it when movies don't have to tell you an origin story. They just drop you in and. You know, they showed enough like little snippets of newspaper clips and stuff that kind of you would put the pieces together yourself, you know?
In a way, it kind of makes sense.
When they take it that way.
It kind of makes sense how something like that where people would get isolated quickly. Yeah, I thought it was well done, dude. I just thought
we'll have to talk later. All my complaints are just that the story was stupid.
Oh, really?
I thought the kind of the setup and the world and all that stuff was really cool. It was a good idea, and like the little tricks that they did to live around those aliens and stuff was really cool. You know, the waterfall scene was cool, but it was like snippets of cool stuff in between ridiculousness too. I'd have to talk to you about it later.
Wow, that's crazy. I read Batman 50. I know I read that this week. Sometime this week.
Comic Book Club.
Book Club, yeah, for sure.
The show.
And I finished Arrow, all 6 seasons of Arrow.
Wow.
A lot of Arrow.
That is a lot of Arrow. That's a lot of Arrow.
You should start Cloak and Dagger next. Actually, I watched the first one of Cloak and Dagger.
Oh, you did?
It was good?
It was better than any WB show.
I'll
say that.
Well, Arrow's
better
on
than
CW.
a Netflix show?
CN, WB, whatever the hell it is. All the,
CN.
What is it?
It's not fake news.
CNNWB.
CNNWB.
Flash, Arrow, Legend of Tomorrow, all that
That's
stuff.
the CW.
Yeah.
I'll have to compare it to Jessica Jones and And,
you know what? It's better than the bad Netflix shows.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What? The
Cloak and Dagger.
Cloak and Dagger?
The first
Dagger.
episode.
Oh.
Yeah. It was really dark, man. Like, shockingly.
Well, there's nothing on TV. I mean, I picked up the two
There's
books,
all
two of
kinds
the
of shit
books
on
that
TV.
Nancy was saying. No, there isn't.
Yes, there is.
I got stuck on the
not
Smithsonian
network
channel
television.
today. I got stuck on the Smithsonian channel because it was all about battles of the Cold War and Hell Below, and I got stuck on that. And then when I got to the carrier Fortress at Sea thing, I turned it off because all they were talking about is how ordnance are the ship, are all this and blah. And I won't get into it. I know. Corey's getting bored. Corey's like, I don't care. I want to watch anime. Derby girls. But I picked up two of Nancy Duplachain's books. And I ordered them on Sunday, and they came in on Friday. I haven't read them yet. So that's pretty much my week.
Nice.
Yeah.
After my slam dunk gigantic week last week, I've got very little going on this week. I went out and partied with some friends last night and have just been super busy with work and working around the house and stuff. So with video games, it's still Pillars of Eternity. Put a couple more hours into that probably since I talked to you guys last. It's funny, like now that I'm kind of getting the hang of it, I do like that game. It's one of these games that doesn't hold your hand. There's not a tutorial, right? It's just drop you in and play. And
That's awesome.
when you're selecting the difficulty level, it puts it on easy as default. And like, there's like this big paragraph that like, if you have not played games like this before, play on easy. We highly recommend. You will have a better time. Like they just go on and on and on about that. So I'm like, okay, so I put it on easy. And what I found that on easy, like, so as soon as you come across enemies, it pauses for a second, and then you can go around your group and make one base attack. Like, you can make their first move yourself, and then when you unpause, they'll go do that first move, and then they go to kind of their regular routines, and you can kind of set their routines. So like the casters, you can set whether they're going to be aggressive or try and do buffs and stuff like that, and they'll keep doing that throughout the fight, but you can kind of back off and let the control just sort of happen. The story continues to be pretty cool. I gotta say, I made Thanon, and he's a badass on it for sure. He's a dwarf fighter with gold hair, and he's kicking ass so far, taking names, and it's just a joy. It's one of those games that I'm just really digging. It's
like Baldur's Gate, you said, right?
Yeah, it's that type of game, but it's the evolution of it.
Okay.
It's just really, really well done story-wise. Like, it is a D&D adventure as far as the story goes.
Okay.
And there's a big splash screen at the very beginning whenever you turn it on that says, like, this thanks to all our Kickstarter backers. Like, I forgot that when that game came out on PC, nobody talked about it or had heard of it, and they had a Kickstarter that was fan-based that launched the game instead of going with a big company. And I think that's to its benefit. Like, most of the times you hear about Kickstarter stories, and they're horror stories about people not the games being shitty and then people not getting like their awards or whatever for being backers. Like, this is one of the successes for sure. Any other, if they went to a big publisher with this game, they would not have been able to make it as like nerdy stats, tactical, and then text-based story. There's so much text, and in the middle of like when you're talking with other NPCs, you make choices that then affect the story too. So it's actually fun to read through it and stuff. It's that's just as fun as the action is to it. So yeah, just really digging on it. Like it a lot. Probably will never beat it, but I'm enjoying it right now. And then just got a couple books. Got finally started Crystal Shard.
Yeah.
So far, I mean, I'm a chapter in, right?
Okay.
But he's got a very interesting writing style for sure. You can tell right off the bat. Like, I don't know, like if I can't describe it, to be honest. It's just very, I don't know, like his sentence structure is almost poetic, right? Like he's not just, like, if you read George Railroad Martin books, it's just real straightforward telling of the story.
Telling a story, yeah.
And with this, like the actual sentences themselves kind of are just not your standard conversational things, right? And so it almost feels like you're reading something like from the 18th century or something like that. When you really read like Old English and things, and where it's hard to kind of put it together. It's almost like that, because he writes so kind of odd, but it's also cool. I mean, it's you know, I enjoy the oddness of it.
Jeff, I don't know if you know, maybe you can correct me on this, but I believe that he wrote a lot of that stuff into the world before it was playable. Like, I think it started off with the novels first, and then they retroactively added it to Forgotten Realms.
That's what happened. Because the Crystal Shard, if I cannot remember, because it's been 30 years since I've read those books. God, now I feel old just saying that. But I think the Crystal Shard was written in like the early 80s. So it was written right around when just AD&D was...
right.
And so second edition hadn't been written yet, and they hadn't got into actual D&D campaign settings with Faerun or anything like that in second edition.
Yeah.
So
he created Menzoberranzan.
He created the entire Underdark. So when he talks about Drizzt, what I remember really well from the books is that he did attack. The description was more like it was building a picture in your head, and the fight scenes started to make more sense. I don't know.
Yeah,
sure.
If you've gotten into any, I cannot remember how the book opens. I think it opens with
it's just him talking about his companions.
Okay, so he goes through, like, doesn't it open with Wolfgar, the barbarian, and his story?
No, the first chapter.
Not in the first. So just talking about Brugger, Battlehammer, and Canterbury.
Yeah, that's correct.
See, I picture Corey would love Canterbury because she's hot.
Yeah, so you know, digging it so far, but barely scratched the surface. And then I finished the first story arc of Fables, and it was fantastic. It's really cool how it does like the detective story. It's way better than Wolf Among Us. Like I think reading this now, like if I had read this first and then played Wolf Among Us, I probably would not like Wolf Among Us. Just what
really?
So much more cooler. The story in the book, definitely.
The world is huge.
Yeah,
huge.
It's a big universe because he can pick from anything.
Yeah,
any fable that's been written is his playground to use.
Yeah, and I like, again, it's another one of these stories where they don't bore you with the origin. They just jump into this detective story, and then they kind of throw you pieces here and there of what happened in the past that made the world like it is now, sort of thing. And I like how that all kind of builds in the background while you're reading through this. And it was also fun, like without going into spoilers or whatever. You know, Big B's a detective. He solves crimes, and his like reveal moment where he tells everybody about what all happened, and you can kind of go back and see where it all was in the book and stuff. Like, it was just really well done. It made it kind of, he was so kind of genuinely excited to tell everybody what he found and stuff that it was it was a good moment. Definitely was fun. Yep. So that's it. That was my week. Corey, what do you got? How many anime shows did you watch this week?
A lot.
15. 15 different series.
Yeah, I don't know. I'm kind of taking a break from video games. I think I overdid it for a while there. I don't think I played any games besides after the show last week. But I did watch a lot of anime, and I read a few comics. I read Batman 48 through 50. I just skipped that Booster Gold shit, but
me too.
But the 48, 49 were good. I don't know if we're going to talk about those, but those were good. Read Catwoman #1. That was really good. That was sweet. The art's awesome in that.
Joelle Jones.
Yeah.
She's awesome.
Yeah, that was Red Saga 53.
Oh yeah, what do you think?
Uh,
You see it, huh? I just love that. Where it
Yeah.
just shows his mouth and says pass.
Yeah.
That was just great. Really great.
Yeah, it was awesome. Really great. And
I also thought, like, because we're not doing a CBBC on it without spoilers, like when Marco walked up on that conversation that was going on, that was really great too. And like his kind of attitude when he strolled up and he's like, "Oh, really?" Like where he came right into that conversation, that was just he's such a badass, you know. And the fact that he tries to be a pacifist and just can't because of these situations he keeps on getting put into, you know. It was it's great.
Totally. And the other thing, like I felt like the atmosphere was so tense that you knew something was going to happen.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, but it was awesome. And then Spider-Man, Amazing Spider-Man #1. Me and Dirk disagreed. Me and Dirk disagreed. I liked it. Dirk didn't. I thought it was really good. Kind of going back to Peter's roots.
It's just not for me, that style. Well, it depends.
Right, yeah.
I mean, there are some characters that I like that with, but I don't know.
Just talk about the art, Dirk.
No, Ryan Otley did the art.
The art wasn't. I wasn't a huge fan.
It's
Mary
very
Jane's
cartoony.
fucking teeth.
Like when you say you don't like that style, what do you mean? What style?
Well, two things.
MJ's
The art
teeth.
I wasn't crazy about. The guy's really good. I don't really go for really cartoony Spider-Man.
Oh.
It's very bright. It's just like it's a super positive, fun comic.
Yeah. I like the way he drew Spider-Man and everything. I just didn't like the way he drew MJ.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think that's everything I read. Anime, just kind of zeroing in on my summer season selections. So there's the standouts now are the first one. It's a totally Japanese name, so most of them are obviously Asobase, I think it's called. That one, it's just about 3 high school girls that are in a club called the Pastimers Club because they like to pass time in their club.
Leave it to the Japanese.
But it's really funny. It's a comedy slice of life, and it's really funny. The other one, Hanebado. I think that's Japanese for badminton.
Okay.
Because it's a show about badminton.
Wow.
He just spin the wheel and pick it.
We should have a segment just called Corey Speaks Japanese Titles.
Yeah, Corey, you need to, or like a show where it's like one will be fake and one will be real, and you got to guess which one is real.
Oh,
that would be great. I'd be up for that game show. Yeah.
I don't know, but it's great badminton show.
It's like a show of like queef or fart. You don't even know.
Third one, it's a big meme show. It's highly memed on Animemes. Cells at Work, or in Japanese, Hataraku Saiburu.
Saiburu?
If you ever go to Japan, you're gonna do all the talking. Like
I don't know, but it's about blood cells. Like there's like the main character is a girl, red blood cell.
A girl, red blood cell.
And just her going throughout life, working. It's kind of educational. They give a lot of information about different types of germs and different types of blood cells and stuff like that. But it's really good.
Wow.
Grand Blue. is it's actually another scuba diving show, but it's about this guy who's in college, and he moves to some coastal town where his uncle owns a scuba diving shop. And he used to live in that town. It's like he moved away for 10 years and came back, but then the scuba diving shop is like crazy, and all the dudes in the club are always getting naked and like getting wasted every night and stuff, but it's fucking hilarious. It's so funny.
Wow. Sounds like when I was 18.
Yeah, it's really funny.
Sounds like a trip to Guam.
Yeah, and then the last one. Harukana Receive. It's beach volleyball show. Also,
you love these secondary sports.
It's a big thing for the summer season, apparently. But also really good. It's about this girl who like moves in with her cousin, who's like an ex beach volleyball player, and her cousin like kind of has natural talent and really likes it and gets her back into it, but she has reasons that she quit playing beach volleyball and stuff like that, and pretty good though.
Yeah.
So those are the standouts so far this season.
Beach volleyball, badminton, and diving.
And blood cells.
And blood cells.
Blood cells, yeah.
Because hematology is big.
Next is an insurance policy selling
progressive.
It's funny, there's this dude that I work with who's totally into anime, and me and him talk back and forth. He tells me to check stuff out, and I told him Darling in the Bronx. He hadn't even heard of it, and then he came back like the next day and was like, that is not for me. It's funny.
How could he not have heard of it? He must not watch current anime. I mean, it's the most popular one of the last season.
He's probably watching just.
He's on Crunchyroll.
He probably watches old stuff.
Yeah.
He's an older guy.
Old shit's lame. But I think that's it though. That's my week. Oh no, I watched the first 2 episodes of Preacher. Which is fucking awesome. So
yes, it is.
So good.
Nice.
How close are you, Nate?
I haven't moved an inch since last week. We're through episode 7. We've had something going on every night, so I'll get there.
4th episode tonight, I believe. So
nice.
Better get on.
Cool.
All right.
Yeah, that's it.
That was our week.
That was our week.
News of the week.
Oh, Jeff did it.
Number 5. William Gibson's abandoned Alien 3 script to be turned into a comic.
Man, I was
digging that.
I was looking at the comic and I was reading the article.
Yeah.
And I wish that, they reboot a lot of shit and change canon all the time now. It seems like it's all written on an Etch-a-Sketch. I really wish that they had made that version of Alien 3 other than
no shit.
The stupid prison.
Or Jodorowsky's Dune.
Yeah. But no, I'm excited. I'll read the comic if it's... I really want to see what his vision was for that movie because what we got, it was just the downhill slide for the rest of them. Even though it was done by David Fincher, who's really a really great director in his own mind.
Well, he said he doesn't claim that film anymore.
No, I know he doesn't.
Yeah.
But man, just that's how it should have. Just reading an article how the comic, they say the comic opens up, the script opened up where it was everyone that survived from aliens. So you had Newt and you had Michael Bihn's character, and I think that would have been a lot better than what we got.
Also, William Gibson's the godfather of cyberpunk culture,
Yeah.
So, hearing what he has to his take on that. Ooh, could be awesome.
Yeah. I gotta be honest. Like, if you guys read it and tell me it's good, I'll check it out. But the Alien franchise is like such a mess. I think after it's funny. Like, those first two are
awesome.
You know, both in like my top 10 favorite movies of all time. Probably those are just fantastic. Alien and Aliens are like just
classic,
blow away sci-fi.
Yeah.
You know, I put like them and Blade Runner and just a couple other things and like that category that they're in. And it's but everything since then, there's been so much garbage since Aliens.
Yeah,
that I just turn it off when I see alien stuff nowadays.
Well, even when Ridley Scott came back and did Prometheus and Alien Covenant, it was trying to revitalize it, but I think there was so much polarization from the fall with Alien 3, and then Alien Resurrection was horrible.
Yeah, I haven't seen it. I will.
Even though I had my girl in it, from Stranger Things. But
which one?
Fuck, I was trying to just cover it up with dropping another
Winona Ryder?
Yeah, Winona Ryder.
Winona Ryder.
Yeah, she's in the fourth one. And
are you talking about Nancy?
No.
Well, I wanted to say, to Nate's point, the Aliens, even though the movies have kind of slid off, the comics are supposed to be really good. The Dark Horse puts out the comics, and there's one series called, I think the latest one was called Dead Orbit, and it's supposed to be excellent. I mean, it got like landmark reviews, so maybe the comics is the way to go with it.
Yeah, I think so.
Number 4. Filming begins in October on the Game of Thrones prequel.
Yeah, so we're getting this news and all the tweets of everybody who films their last scene as they're wrapping up filming on the final season.
Right.
So clearly, if they're starting filming now, it should be ready 2 years from now. Right?
Yeah, pretty much.
It'll pick up the year after Game of Thrones drops off. So I don't know. There wasn't any other speculation other than that, huh?
I'm not going to drop a spoiler at all for Game of Thrones, but did anyone see Maisie Williams' tweet?
No, I'm not watching any of their goodbyes.
Yeah,
I did.
Don't do it.
Yeah, it was. You could interpret that picture that she posted in about 7,000 different ways. Yeah. Like, it wasn't really a spoiler because it was so kind of obtuse, but it's like, there's some damn when you see it.
Yeah, well, I'm not going to drop the card, so.
But if you think about that, Jeff,
spoilers for the next season or spoilers for like last season?
The last season of Game of Thrones is being filmed.
For the next one, they're filming.
Okay.
So when Maisie Williams filmed her last day, she said like it's been a great bunch of years, and then there's a picture. But Jeff, like I think if you interpret that picture in like the cool like Arya's a badass and ends up in a good place at the end of this, then it's cool too. You know what I mean? It's just that's her. You know what I mean?
Or it could have signified she was the last one to film her scenes.
Yeah. They're doing an animated version of his Ice Dragon book, too. I saw. Should be cool.
Check it out.
Number 3. A bunch of widely Last Man casting. So, getting news on it.
Yeah.
Yora, Kiro, Agent 355, and more were cast. So.
Word up, Hero.
Yeah. So I saw the 3 of them. I've never heard of any of them. But
all the ladies look perfect. Like they showed his mom too, and somebody else, and I thought they were all great picks.
Yeah.
But the Yorick dude.
Yorick looks weird.
He looks weird. Is there anything that he's in that I would know that actor's in?
I thought they said maybe. I'm gonna have to look and see.
Okay, yeah, it's not really important.
He didn't look like Yorick, but I mean, I guess that's not a huge deal. But he's in Dunkirk.
Oh,
yeah.
I thought his mom was in Dunkirk.
It's saying Dunkirk's Barry Keoghan.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, he's Yorick. Huh. He's the guy. He's like the main He's like the younger guy, I think.
Well, last Paul Uric, I knew him well. Horatio, what?
Yeah. Well,
that's
that fits into this.
So. We talked about it when me and Corey were reading it earlier in the year. Like I gotta urge everybody and Jeff, if you haven't read Why the Last Man, read it before read it before the show comes out. I think it'll be a much cooler experience that way versus the other. You know, you don't want to know what happens at the end of that from the TV show.
Like a top 10, top 5 all-time comic book.
And I kind of wonder, like, just kind of musing about Why the Last Man, a lot of kind of what's cool about that book is, like, he's doing all this crazy shit, and it's almost like a routine for him. Like, when you're in the middle of the story, it's like, yep, another city, another group of people, this is what happened, but the stories themselves aren't, like, fantastical or crazy that much. There's a couple wild ball things in there, but you know, it's just kind of getting to know the characters, and then at the end, the weight that it has because those characters are so awesome. Right. You know, is what makes it so great. And so I wonder how that'll correlate to a TV show. Like, it doesn't seem like there's a ton of action or whatever, you know?
Yeah.
It'll be interesting. But
the actors have to be good, for sure.
Yeah, but it being on FX, you know, Legion changed everything. So I feel like you can make a show like that and just make it kind of weird and avant-garde a little bit. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's a good kind of, I don't know. It's a good story for a weird take, you know. Right. So I hope it's off a little bit, you know.
Culturally relevant right now too. So,
yeah.
Me too.
Yep.
Me too.
Number two. D&D. Tease. Why don't you say it? Because I don't even know.
Airborne.
Eberron is what I was gonna say. D&D teases Eberron as one of the next campaign settings.
Yeah, that's I guess if you read the article, it shows that one of the lead developers was looking at it on his computer screen, which doesn't necessarily mean anything.
Right.
I didn't say anything, Alexa. But it shows it in the back, like the lettering and that he was reading it, and there's been a lot of stuff pointing to that, between that and Spelljammer, and you can kind of connect those two settings. The interesting thing that I think, I've never played Eberron.
Is that it? It's just a rumor then? It was just on there.
Yeah, but it's like a big rumor because there's a lot of stuff that they've featured thus far up to this point that fit in that setting. That wouldn't fit anywhere else necessarily.
So just like 30-second recap. What's up with Eberron?
So it's more of a what's the word I'm looking for? More of a steampunk sort of vibe, like dark fantasy noir.
Sure.
There's airships. There's guns in it. I mean, but the thing is,
it's kind of like Final Fantasy.
A little like Final Fantasy, but
airships and guns.
Yeah, but think less tech. You know, when I say guns, you think of technology. This is like magic-based technology.
Yeah.
Okay.
You know, like space travel in D&D does not work the same as what we think of as space travel. It has to do with like interplanar. You know, you're jumping between planes. There's crystals. There's magic. There's that kind of stuff that you use. So I kind of like that a lot better.
That sounds awesome.
Like
yeah, I'm totally down for that. Huh?
What?
Nothing. You guys gotta watch Ready Player One.
So yeah, I'm totally down with it. If it's that, I'm into it.
That'd be cool.
Sounds sweet.
Yeah.
Number 1, Lando to return in Star Wars Episode 9.
So, again, another spoilery news topic.
Yeah.
I feel like when we talked about the Walking Dead thing, but this one will be impossible for people to avoid now that it's out there, to the point where I figured that we could just talk about it, right?
Yeah. Right.
Yeah.
So, did anybody see, like, every article I saw was just Billy D's in Episode 9, and it's just says it factually. Like, I still want to know the story of, they acted so weird about him for the past 2 movies.
Yeah.
And now to have him joining, like, I wonder if it was like a money or some kind of conflict thing, that when Carrie Fisher died, they were just like, okay, well, we need one of the OGs. Willie still out there. Let's bring him in.
Like, you're probably dead on with that.
So they probably just upped the amount of money, or if there was some kind of personality issue, just said, okay, I guess we got to deal with it, and pulled the trigger on it. But I'm happy as hell. It would have been dumb to go these 3 movies without him. You know,
the fans, they might be listening to the fans too. I mean, everybody wants to know where Orlando is.
Yeah, that's true.
It's all over the internet.
Good character,
it's
man.
almost like this is like one way to distractify fans from a lot of the polarization with The Last Jedi and how they felt Luke was how he should have been and what he was. And then they could be trying to maybe revitalize and grasp at straws to try and rekindle after the backlash that Solo got. Even though I thought Donald Glover did a great job as Lando, you know, they're still trying to get over that debacle.
Yeah, I think everybody talked about how great he was in that movie, right? That was a common kind of conversation. So maybe just that renewed interest in the character, you know what I mean, brought it upon as well.
Could be. Or that they're just trying to fill a hole because they lost Carrie.
Right. But I never saw anything. Did any of you see any explanation around that or anything? Yeah, I don't know. It's weird. It stinks. There's got to be something to that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's it.
All right, everybody, this is the spot. I know reading through a bunch of names isn't the most super exciting thing to listen to or watch every week, but I've got to say that I really like, we meet these people out there on the internet, we do these shout-out segments, and then people start commenting on our shows, we start commenting back on theirs, and it's like, before you know it, 4 months passed, and you're kind of like friends with these people at this time. Yeah. And I really like that part, you know what I mean, of what we do. I didn't expect that when we started doing this, and it's cool. So anyways, for those of you who never watched before, I just, you know, have no idea what the fuck I'm talking about. And what I'm talking about is the community corner. We should give shout outs to all the people that subscribe to us this week that also have YouTube channels. So go check out their stuff. It'll be in the description of this show. You'll be able to click on the links. Check out their channels. Yep. Also, if you're one of these people, this is super awesome networking, because all these channels are people that have been chatting me up this week, and or Corey as well does a lot. And just like I say, get out there, start talking to people, meet them up. There's cool people out there in the world. Hang out with them virtually. So, anyways, this week I got Dillion 118. K-Briz B, the Nocturnal Gaming Network, Panther Prod Productions, Beautiful John, and Krispy Kreme's Adventures.
I got Bookie Entertainment TV, Dyson D. Souza, Creepy Chaos, Lisa Marie Thornton, Pepe and Steel, and Dwarvian.
Yeah.
I got It's Emergency, Joe Chancellor, Brooke Chaos, Electric the Gamer, Neo Tartarus, and Edgar 2 Pro.
And bringing up the final is Gatball Maisie, or Measy. I say Measy. Link Sword 151. Maisie? Okay. Link Sword 151. The Crazed Indian Housewife. SimH Cooking. And Bind Gaming.
Yeah. So thanks so much, everybody, for subscribing to us.
Yeah.
Really appreciate it. Yeah. Every week we also do the coveted Name of the Week,
We go through all these awesome channel names and try and just pick one based on nothing other than the name. I gotta say, the Crazed Indian Housewife almost took it at the end, but I got the biggest reaction out of me from Beautiful John.
Beautiful John?
Yeah, I used to love Beautiful Joe.
I was thinking that when I was typing.
Yeah, when I saw that, it got me.
Yeah,
I'm going Crazy Indian
See,
Housewife.
I'm going with the Crazy Indian Housewife. I don't know.
I'm going with Krispy Kreme.
That was my second place.
Krispy Kreme's
Krispy
Adventures.
Kreme's Adventures.
That's a good one as well.
That is a
Well,
good one.
congratulations to the Crazed Indian Housewife.
Word.
Because you are the name of the week.
Yeah,
Yay.
One.
there you go.
Word.
Cool. So, also, just the one last thing. This week on the Sunday night stream, we had Ender play some Fortnite because we're all old and don't like or are good at Fortnite. So it seems to be all the rage nowadays. So I hear about this little game that everybody's talking about. But anyways,
Insane how fucking big it is.
yeah, it is crazy. Joe Chancellor from the Gotham Lounge, he jumped on there.
Mhm.
Lauren, Lauren kicks
Omnisec.
it all the time. Yep, appreciate coming by and saying hi. And then Corm Breb.
Yeah.
That's an
Cornbread.
awesome name.
Yep, he
That's
dropped
name of
by.
the week.
And of course, Captain Emo.
Word.
Captain.
Yeah.
Bring it home.
I got on there right after Captain jumped off. So.
Oh, really?
Yep.
You
Yep.
know, watching
So-
Ender play that, it was just like he was doing shit. I'm like, I never would have thought of like build upstairs and break open the ceiling and find chests up in an attic.
Yeah, right. And hidden rooms and stuff.
Yeah,
Yep.
it's crazy.
He knows. He's good. He's good for sure. So that's been Comically Gaming episode 113. We're going
Word.
to end the show as we do from time to time with the Comic Book Club. We're going to have a full conversation, full spoilers conversation about Batman number 50, about the wedding. So if you haven't read that yet, then you want to check out. Thank you very much for dropping by. Check us out online on our Patreon page. It's patreon.com/GCandC.
Yeah. Tweet us at GCandC.
Yeah, and grab a t-shirt over at teespring.com/stores/games-comics-and-culture.
And if you don't want to try and follow that URL, look up on the Facebook page because I have the link to the awesome T-shirts that we're sporting right now. See, woo! Corey
We
doesn't
do not have that Guardians of the Galaxy.
We don't have the Guardian of the Galaxy. We do not have that. But you can find the announcement pinned on our Facebook page at Games, Comics, and Culture on Facebook. And as always, thank you to Fred Thomas for the opening music and Xee Reiter for our logo.
Thank you, friend C.
Thanks.
Thank you.
Later, everybody.
Later.
Mates.
All right. Still with us. Welcome to the Comic Book Club. This week we're going to be going full spoilers. Batman
Ooh.
number 50. The Red Wedding.
The red, it's a blue and green wedding.
Wow, you got the alternate cover? That's cool. I like that.
It wasn't alternate. It's just like it's like a white
Protector?
cardboard,
Oh, wow.
protector thing on it.
Huh,
They-
I didn't have
It
that.
was sitting right next to the other one, and they were both the same price. I didn't.
I got this cover.
Oh, that's cool.
I didn't know that's
close.
what it was. He told me at the shop, he was like, people keep passing
Hold it
up
up.
this issue because they didn't know it's the wedding issue.
Huh.
Really? That's the cover?
Wow,
Yeah.
and she's not even on it, huh?
She's not even on it.
See, I just got the one that has what you have behind the white cardboard, Nate.
Yeah.
Just that one, yeah.
Yep.
Cool.
So,
The other
What
one
we
I
think?
have is I have an Ant-Man and the Wasp #1, where it has Ant-Man and the Wasp like really tiny. It's just a white
Wrong
background.
comic, Jeff.
I know,
Wrong
but
comic.
I was just digressing. So this is a really weird comic when you first start reading it because the
Yeah.
way it's broken up. It took me a little bit to figure out to skip every other page and read it, and then go back and read it.
Yeah. It took me
I
all the
didn't
way
do
till
that.
the end.
I didn't do that
I
either.
got to the end
Really?
and I was like, I thought this was terrible at first.
Yeah.
And then I went back and read it as one single letter
Uh huh.
to each person,
Yeah.
and it made so much more sense.
Yeah.
Big
Well,
fucking
I remember-
letdown, though.
you guys had read it last week and had said something about how the format was weird to it. So I was kind of within page 4. I kind of realized what was going on, you know.
Yeah.
But and I liked it. It was cool, different, something different.
Something different.
Anyways, to present it that way.
Yeah.
It's like
Totally.
What when they get?
And it was cool once they finally hugged or like kissed in the hallway, and that kind of brought it together at that point. You know, that was it kind of. I liked the way it flowed.
Yeah, I'll speak to Corey's
go ahead.
assertion there. I
Letdown?
think it was initially a letdown for me, but then I started reading some stuff about it, about how they've been building up this since issue 1, apparently, right? All those people at the end were all the villains from all the past storylines of Tom King's Batman. So what this is doing is setting up, because he's doing 50 more issues to do 100 total. This is setting up the next 50, and I thought that was cool. I mean, it was a letdown in some ways because you're expecting like Joker and freakouts and all that. But I did like the fact that like it's much bigger than just this one issue.
Yeah.
And big letdown that she's fucking dipped out.
He knew she was going to dip out, though. That's the thing.
You think she dipped?
She did dip because...
She definitely dipped.
She dipped at the end, yep.
Drew Catwoman 1. They get into it there, too.
Are you kidding? She definitely dipped.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They both just kind of jump off the building.
That's dipping, yep.
No, she dipped out.
She left
that was the end of her... Read the end of her letter, though.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Not Bruce's. He talks about, like, the end of his letter, he wants to, like, stay with her and talks about how she's awesome. And then at the end of her letter, she's like, you can't be Batman if
Nate, if you read...
Be happy.
If you read Catwoman 1, there's more validation there that she took off.
I wish I could give you my life, but I can't. I have to give more. My sacrifice is my love. Okay, I got you. Yeah, I guess she dipped. I didn't even get that.
Oh my
Live
God.
on air, I'm coming to the realization.
Embarrassing.
Buddy. Gotta club him over the head with it.
I had a lot of distractions going on when I was reading it for my sake, and I just what I liked about this book was all the big full page art.
Yeah.
You know, and they would
Miller.
credit the artists at the bottom of each of them. Yeah, my favorite was definitely Frank Miller one for sure.
That's awesome.
But I guess I was more just kind of focused on that than actually reading their letters, the way it was split up and stuff. I guess I should go back and do it again. I just thought, oh yeah, here's their love letters to each other, and they get married, and then they both jump together.
Yeah. No, I think I do agree with Corey to an extent that this felt like, I don't want to say a letdown, but it definitely did not live up to...
I mean, he's been Batman and been happy the past 20 issues and been doing just fine. I just feel like it's just kind of a lame reason. Like, why all the build up and then just have them not fucking get married? The only like revelation. Well, then let him at least get married and then see that he can't be Batman because he's happy, and then have them break up. Like,
no, because then you're falling into Arrow territory, the Green Arrow territory. You start doing that shit.
Yeah, I don't know.
You know, it's just, I mean, it makes sense, though, because Batman is destined to always be alone. He's always been alone, you know.
So is she.
I mean, and she's
if you love him,
yeah,
reason he needs to be unhappy.
It just comes with the nature of it comes with the cape and cowl. It really does.
So it makes him Batman.
So it makes him Batman. It's DC.
Fucking mentally disturbed.
It's DC Batman, okay? So it's not
maybe
like
he doesn't need to be Batman then, and he can be happy. Like, if she really loves him.
That is a good point.
But Selina's never gonna. No, that's not in Selina's nature.
Also, the thing is, like, who is he kidding? He has not stopped the evil in Gotham.
No.
And he's been fighting for, what, hundreds of years now or whatever?
Yeah.
Like, dude, maybe you should just give it up and live the married
or
life.
Or start killing people.
Just
end them. Don't put them in Arkham. Just end them all.
Oh.
Well, Corey, I think this is from the Booster Gold storyline, so I'm not familiar with it because I skipped those issues. But you notice in the last page, if you open it up, Batman is there with Bane?
Yes.
Yeah, I do remember
You know who that is?
Yeah.
That's got to not be Batman, right?
It's Thomas Wayne.
Oh.
His dad. So the alternate universe with Booster Gold,
Oh.
the robbers killed Bruce,
Yeah.
and Thomas Wayne went like crazy with vengeance and started like killing criminals left and right.
Nice.
Like he doesn't have that line that he doesn't cross. You know?
Punisher Batman.
Punisher
Yeah.
Batman. Yeah.
Totally.
Totes.
So that's who that is.
That's crazy.
Okay, yeah, I was wondering. Because I think I recognized everybody except him.
They're all in on it though, which is crazy. Like, where are they gonna go now with this? Because he's got Joker Bane has Joker working for him.
Mm-hmm.
It's nuts.
Yeah, which he probably doesn't, though.
Well, yeah, he doesn't
thinks
work
he
for anybody. Right. Yeah.
But,
What did you guys think of all the different, like, kind of one-shot art scenes? Which one did you like the most? For me, it was that Frank Miller one, just because
Frank Miller, yeah.
Frank Miller is
totally.
Batman to me.
I don't remember.
No.
Yeah, I think Frank Miller. I mean,
I remember the only one I remember like looking
Jim
at the
Lee.
name was Jim Lee.
Yeah.
Which one's that?
I don't have the book with me.
It's towards the end. Oh, I remember Albuquerque. I don't know who this is, but it's the kissing picture.
Oh, I like that one, yeah.
Yeah, do that.
Yeah, that one was cool.
Yeah.
I like
Yes. Yep, agreed. I also like both of these.
Oh,
Like,
yeah.
the last two.
Yep.
These
Yeah,
are both really cool.
Catwoman's awesome.
Particularly that one, yeah. Yeah.
Hey, I also, as a piggyback, definitely that Catwoman one is awesome.
Yeah.
So, if you like,
It is.
it's much better than this issue. Put it that way.
All right, well, what next one is X-23 number 1.
Yep.
Yeah.
So read up on that one before next
That
week.
was
Yeah.
really awesome.
We'll talk that through.
Gabby's in it, right?
Hell yeah!
Yeah.
Both of them, Laura and Gabby.
Yeah.
All right,
Gabby's
sweet.
All right.
I'll see you guys then.
Peace.
All right.
All right, thanks for watching, everybody. Have a good week.
Thanks.